What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So in today's video I'm going to be talking about how you should be rotating in Conquest. Now I'm going to be going through some general rules on what you should be doing in every game, and every role should be doing it, and then I'm going to go through all the 5 specific roles and what they should be doing in their specific lanes. I'm just playing Susanoo because he's got quite a bit of mobility, so I can get around the map and show it, as well as ping on the map what you should be doing. So the first rule, so I'm going to give you 3 basic rules that you should be doing in every game. And the first rule, which a lot of people don't know, is rotate if the person in your lane with the corresponding role is rotating as well. So if I'm in middle lane and so I'm here and my god, for example, starts going left here, so I can assume that he's going to help out duo. Now if I'm in mid and I'm smart, I'm gonna follow him, and not a lot of people do that because if he's going to left lane, then it's basically going to be a 3v2 here, and a 3v2 obviously they have a higher chance of winning, so it would just be better if you rotate as well. So now it's going to be a 3v3 and it's balanced, and there's not really like a big reason why you should stay, and this is especially early game where you don't want to be getting the tower too early, otherwise your minions are going to be too far up and you're going to be too far up, so they've got a better way of ganking you. So and this is for every role. If you're in solo and you see them, because you've obviously warded here, and if they're going towards middle, then you want to obviously follow them, otherwise it's going to be a 2v1 for the mid and your mid's going to lose, and your mid's obviously going to be like, if he left your lane then obviously you should be coming as well. So that's the first rule. If the person in your lane leaves, especially with duo, I guess the carry can leave if the support leaves, but mainly the support will go to help out mid, and the support on your team should also be going to mid. So that's the first rule I'm going to say. If the corresponding role leaves, you leave as well, because otherwise another lane is going to be at disadvantage. Second rule is going to be if another lane is just generally struggling, and you're doing nothing in your lane. So what I see people do is they'll just go to the wave, they'll clear it, and then they'll just go back here and stand and wait, and you're honestly like not doing anything. Yeah, you can push the tower, but again, you mainly let the minions take the tower because they can, and while they're taking the tower you can go farm. But people just stand in middle lane, and if you look left or right and you see that that lane is struggling, just go there, because there's pretty much no point you staying here, especially early game when you don't want to get the tower too early. So rule number 2 is, so I've attacked these minions, now I'm free. They can attack the tower. If duo is struggling, I'll go left lane, and if right lane is struggling, then I'll go solo. Same with solo. If you've pushed it and you don't want to push too much early game, you just go to the mid and you can help out mid, or you can go do some camps, but don't stay in your lane and just stand there because it's your lane, because you're just wasting time, you're wasting farm. You could be farming elsewhere. So that's rule number 2. And rule number 3 is don't rotate for no reason. So don't waste your time here if you can rotate, and don't rotate just for the sake of rotating. So what I see people do is they'll just attack that, and they've already done this, and they're just having a little wonder. They're like, oh, should I go left lane? Maybe I won't go left lane. Should I go right lane? And then they're just going around in the jungle, and their red won't be up, and they'll just go to do that one buff over there, but your wave is more important, and he might be attacking, so he's pushing your minions down here. Same with duo. Duo will just go like up to here to red. Why would duo go and do red? It doesn't really make sense, but they'll just do it just for the sake of rotating. So don't rotate just for the sake of rotating. By the time you go out of your left lane here and you're losing XP over here, you're thinking of ganking that lane, or you're thinking of ganking that lane if you are mid, or if you're a jungle, you're here and you're thinking of ganking that lane, but then your camps are up, so you're like, actually I won't rotate. They're full health, but you just feel like rotating, and your rotation basically not doing anything. So don't rotate just for the sake of rotating. Rotate with a reason. If you're going there to help them with their buff, that's fine if you're the jungle. But if you're mid, don't just wander halfway and then wander back because you're like, right, I've got minions here. So that is the third reason. Don't rotate for no reason. So that's the 3 basic rules that you should be using in every single game. Now I'm going to move on to situational scenarios, and I'm going to start off with jungle. So the way you start with jungle is you go to the speed camp. You do the speed camp with your mid. After you're done with the speed camp, you should have this Hand of Gods. Use the Hand of Gods, kill these, and then you're going to go to the mana camp to help the solo. Now, what a lot of people don't do is you clear the 2 minions, but then you wait for your solo to come and take this mana buff. But you need to wait before you kill that last minion for your solo to be here so he can become level 2, otherwise you're going to be at a disadvantage. Then you go and take this camp. Now this is again situational dependent. You usually put a ward over here where I am right now, and then you check in mid. If the mid is struggling because the other mid has gotten some early game poke, then you want to go and stop that. Help him out, help him clear the wave because he is not high level. If he's fine and he's pushing, then you just do this camp, go here, do this camp, and then help him with his red. And after you have helped him with his red, you go to this camp and you clear this as fast as you can. And after that, you have done your rotation from here to here to here, helped him in mid, gone to red, and taken this camp. So you've done one of your rotations, and approximately around this time, the speed starts to come up again. This Kumbhakana, I'm not going to be able to kill him too easily, he's just going to attack me. So, that's one of your rotations done. After you have done that, mainly you want to be hovering around the mid zone, because firstly, you can go to left really easily, you can go to right easily from mid. Secondly, don't stop the farm. What I see a lot of people do is they just camp in the mid. That way you're just stealing your mid's camps, and you're stealing your mid's XP, and then he's going to be a lower level, whereas you could be farming. So help another lane, but don't stop the farming, because otherwise I'm like level 8 and the other jungler's like level 5, because he's just helping load of lanes with actually doing what he's supposed to do. Secondly, for jungling is... Okay, we took a tower. Go to a lane where a teammate is struggling rather than where you can get a kill. So if there's someone low in mid lane, but like your teammates are struggling here, you go left first. Yes, you can get a kill here, but that's not going to do you much. It's going to do you much, but if they get a double kill there, they've gotten 2 kills. Same thing with here. If the solo is struggling, rather than going for your kill, help the solo, because I feel like it's better for them to not get a kill than for you to get a kill, because you'll go a bit ahead, but then they'll also be ahead. But it'd just be better if you gank that, save him, and kill the opponent as well. So you might be able to get a kill from that, but at least you'll have protected your teammate and maybe not gotten the kill. But it's better than them getting the kill, and then if the more fed they get, the easier it's going to be for them to obviously help push against you and kill you, and just give them more fed and just win the team fights. So always help the teammate first that's struggling, then choose to gank a different lane, because if you're here, you're going to kill, he's going to die, and then you're just going to get pushed in the lane. But if you let that kill go and you help that, then you've still protected both your lanes. And the third thing, like I've mentioned before, is don't farm too much. Don't help a lane too much, because number one, you're stealing their XP. Number two, you're losing your own farm, because I see a load of people, like I said, I'm level 8, they're level 5, because they're just camping out in mid, and they're sharing the XP with the mid. So not only is the mid going to be under level, but the jungle's also going to be under level. So help, but don't help too much. Focus on your farm as well as you are the jungle. You want to be making sure that you're getting as high level as possible, so when you gank a lane, you kill, you are pretty much guaranteed a kill in that lane, because you're going to be a fairly high level. So that's the situational things on the jungle. Now I'm going to talk about mid. Again, like I've said before, if the mid rotates that way or that way, you go and follow them. Obviously push the wave first and then go follow, because otherwise it's going to be either a 3v2 here or a 2v1 here, and of course, why would you want to let that happen? If they're going, you follow them and you go help them out. Secondly, if you are mid, you want to be doing the most rotations, because you have the quickest access to solo and duo. With solo, it's quickest for them to get to mid, and with duo, it's quickest for them to get to mid as well. Whereas for mid, it's easier for him to get to. It's easier for the mid to get to the solo lane as well as the duo lane. So as mid, you want to bear in mind that after you've pushed your wave, maybe even push the second wave, even though he's still here, you can choose to rotate and quickly go gank a different lane, and they usually never expect it early game, but that's what the mid is good for. He can go left and right and do a surprise gank. So make sure if you're in mid, you've got the most power to rotate, and just basically do that. And like I've just said, before you gank a different lane, before you rotate, make sure you've cleared your waves, because what I see a lot of people do is they'll leave their minions, they leave the opponent's minions and they go gank a different lane, and then next minute their tower's gone half at like 5 minutes because they just didn't clear the wave. So as mid, rotate as you have the most power, but make sure you clear your wave and then rotate, otherwise you're going to get pushed. So that's how the mid should be rotating. If your mid is missing or you've cleared your wave, you just sat there doing nothing, a different lane has got someone that's low, you can quickly rotate and then rotate back. And don't like half think about doing it. Don't go up to like to the pyromancer and then be like, oh, you know, maybe he's struggling, maybe he's not struggling as much anymore, so I'm just going to go back. Just fully commit to it. You might as well, because you've just wasted time now. You might as well go somewhere and get the XP rather than losing your XP in mid. So that's how you want to be doing that. That's pretty much it for mid. Now I'm going to go on to solo. Let me just quickly sprint over there. So for solo, what I've noticed is it's mainly just about the 1v1. They do have power to rotate as they do have teleport, but with solo, until like 10 minutes, there's not really much rotation needed, because it's a fair 1v1 that the solo are doing against each other. But if there is an emergency, you always have teleport when you're in solo. You can teleport to a tower, a ward that maybe they've got here, a ward that's here, this tower here, if there's an emergency gank that you need to do, so you can go and do that. And again, the same rule, if you see the solo leaving, you leave as well. He might be going to mid to gank, so you want to be there to help your mid as well. But most of the time, until like 10-12 minutes, or until you've gotten the tower, the solo barely ever rotates. And the one that you will be rotating to most is going to be let me just protect this Phoenix. The one that solo is mostly going to be rotating to is going to be mid, because that's the closest to it. The emergency is obviously going to be use your teleport to duo, but that rarely ever happens. So just to summarize that, if the solo's missing, you miss with them. Otherwise, it's just a 1v1 between the solos. Or again, if you just cleared the wave and you just sat there doing nothing, you've done your mana, you've pushed the wave into the tower, you can go help mid. And that's what the solo is going to want to do. Secondly, I don't know what he's doing. I'm just going to clear these waves because this guy's just like... Right, so moving on to the carry. The carry should pretty much... Oh, yo, this guy's got no chill. The carry should pretty much never rotate, like early game, until like the first 12 minutes. A lot of people start like pinging and everything, like, oh, why are you not rotating, blah blah blah. Just ignore them, because the job of the carry is to carry the team. They're supposed to be in their lane, farming, getting kills if they can, but like, their job is to carry, so they're going to want to farm as much as possible, get a high level, so they can do more damage and obviously win the game and carry the team. So until you're like level 15, 16, you should not really be leaving your lane, unless it's like a proper emergency. It's like a 5v4 here, the whole opponent team is here, then okay, you can go because everyone's there. But other than that, just stay in your lane, clear the wave, and push the tower and take your tower basically and farm. And obviously the same rule applies. If the support goes missing, then obviously your support will follow them as they should be. And if the carry is missing, attack maybe 2 waves and then rotate, or attack the wave, push the wave on the tower and then rotate with the opponent's carry. So that rule applies for everyone. The carry is missing, you go and gank probably middle lane, which is where they're going to be going. And like I said before, you rotate for a full team fight. But before that, the carry should be staying in their lane, not doing much rotation, farming and going unless the opponent's the other carry is missing. This guy's got no chill. I'm trying to talk kick Kumakana. The carry is leaving, or it's an emergency and you've got to go help our lane. So that's the carry and what he should be doing. And lastly, I'm going to be talking about the support. Now, the best advice I'd give for support, again, if the support leaves to go help mid, the opponent mid has got the opponent's support against just the mid. So if you're support, you should be helping out your mid as well. The amount of times I'm in mid or I'm in jungle, and it's just 2 versus 1 because the only the carry is there from the opponent, and the support has gone to mid lane, and your support is not rotating, and the mid is like, come on support, if there's like a 2v1, then you should be rotating too. So that's what you want to be doing as support. As I've said with every role. Secondly, around 8 minutes, the support should be leaving, because the carry that way gets more farm and gets to a higher level. The thing with the support is, even if they are underleveled, it doesn't matter much because they are tanky, so they're not going to be easy to kill as it is. They can still lead in the team fights. They're going to be 2 to 3 levels below, but that's not that big of an issue. So around 8 to 10 minutes, the support should rotate to mid, and then switch between solo mid, and occasionally go back to carry in case he does need help, but mainly focus on the mid and solo, while the carry gets the extra farm now because it's not being shared with the support, and he's going to be going a high level and being able to carry the team. So that's the main thing that the support is going to be doing. I'll just do another reminder: 8 to 10 minutes, the support leaves, goes, helps mid, solo, and the jungle as well, because it's not going to be getting as much XP from here, so he can go a bit with the jungle and help the jungle with that. Not that it needs help, but just for its own XP. And just to summarize the support, just support the lane that needs help. Now, when I say at 10 minutes, leave the duo, helps mid and solo, it doesn't mean that, you know, this left lane is now forbidden, you can't go here. No, people always like get mistaken. Like when you say to them, come on support, leave and go mid or solo, they never return to the left lane, and I don't understand why. It's leave around 10 minutes so the carry can get a bit more far ahead, but don't just abandon it. You should be going back there maybe after every 2 to 3 minutes just to check if everything's okay, to get some XP for yourself. But mainly, just rotate around the whole map. Oh, solo needs help, go there. Then duo needs help, go there. Then mid needs help, go there. And then if mid needs even more help, if they get pushed even more, stay in mid lane. And that's how you want to be rotating with support. Now, just to end off the video, I'm just going to go through the 3 basic rules one last time, just so everyone's clear. Number 1, if the person with your corresponding role in the opponent's team leaves, you should be leaving as well, because if they're rotating to another lane, that lane is going to be at a disadvantage, and obviously that's not good for your team. That's going to give the opponent team a lot of kill potential, so you want to be preventing that. Secondly, if a different lane is struggling, push your lane, go help that lane. If I'm in mid, push my lane, go solo or duo, whichever needs help. And thirdly, don't rotate for no reason, as you just lose XP. I just see people wandering in the jungle for no reason whatsoever because, you know, they feel like they should be rotating, but it's honestly not worth it because you're going to be losing your own minion farm. So don't be doing that, and that's the 3 main reasons that you should be using in every game. Now, I just want to say this is purely based off my experience playing Conquest and how I think you should be rotating, and what I find, if the whole team works best and is the easiest way to win. Just small things such as everyone knowing how to rotate can make a big difference and help you win games a lot easily. And again, this is my opinion, so if you disagree on what a specific role or something that I said that about rotation should be different, then leave in the comments below. I'm always open to suggestions. But other than that, thank you for watching. If there's any other types of video you want to see, leave in the link below. But like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.